Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a Project Pan update. I am high in spirits, I don't have a headache, it's a beautiful sunny Sunday and I have time to film. It's wonderful, it's like new to me. Anyways, to remind you of what I'm doing, this is a rolling project pan for a full face of makeup started by the girls at Beauty News, Kat at Kitsch Snitch, difficult to say, and Haley from Just Buy the Makeup. They started this at the beginning of the year. We are all following each other with the hashtag TEAMPROJECTPAN, and you're welcome to join at any point. The only rules are it's a rolling project pan, and every 3 months you can actually switch out products that you haven't liked. So if you finish something, you just add something from the same category, and if after 3 months you're just bored or the season changed or the color doesn't work, you can switch it out. That's very simple. For me, the slight modification is that there is no colored cosmetics, let's say, so no blushes, lipsticks, highlighters, eyeshadows, anything that is colorful, because I don't want to finish any of that. For me, it is base staples that sometimes, for example, I have multiples of in concealers or foundations, and I want to just use one and streamline the process, finish one, go to the next, finish one, go to the next. It really helps with these updates, and just having a goal to finish a product really helps with using things up. Now, let's start for something that I have used up, not that exciting, but anyways, that is the Agave Bite lip mask. You must have seen this also in my previous video, which was my July roundup. I kept saying June the whole video. My apologies, guys. I was clearly not very there with my brain in that video. So sorry. But I finished this, and as I mentioned multiple times before, I didn't really like it as a lip mask, so not something to put on in the evening before going to bed, and then in the morning you have nice and moisturized lips. It was not enough for me for that, and instead I was using it at my desk in the morning, putting it on before I started doing my makeup, and then by the time I was ready to put a lipstick on, I would just dab off if there was any excess and just apply my lipstick, and for that it was fine. So yeah, this is done and dusted finally in the trash. Then I have a pan, which is also exciting. Just the other day, I think yesterday or the day before, I hit pan on my NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundation. I am in the shade 07 Warm Beige, and I am getting a lot of use out of this. I'm wearing it today. I usually put on my SPF cream. I'm now using, for when I want less coverage, I am now using the Clinique City Block, Sheer City Block, that has almost no tint, just a slight blurring effect, and SPF. And then I put a little bit of concealer where needed and this one on top. And it gives me just enough coverage to, yeah, I don't know, uniform the skin and just look okay, I think. It's really nice because I would powder anyways, and this gives me both coverage and yeah, the powder, the mattifying effect. I like this. I mentioned it multiple times before, and I'm gonna finish it apparently. Weight wise, I used only half a gram of product. I went from 69.95 grams to 69.43. Reading on my phone here, I just measured everything, but yeah. And that was in a month because I introduced it at the beginning of July, but I had it in my collection for longer. So I think this might be finished by the end of the summer, which is great, because then in fall and winter I don't typically use powder foundations, because then I'll use an actual foundation. That brings me to the next, maybe also a good thing to say. Foundation wise, I haven't been wearing much. So yeah, I haven't done a lot of progress. If I don't wear foundation, I don't wear primer. So my primer I used once. There's minimum progress here. This is the Cover FX blurring primer, and it's a mini. I also just don't use primers, so I tend to hoard minis that come as gift with purchases or in boxes or something. And yeah, I have lots of these that I want to go through, but I just don't wear primer. It's really weird. I'll try to do better when the weather goes cooler, in a few months, and maybe I can put an effort into actually finishing it every day. I don't know if it's good for my pores though. We'll see. So there's no progress on the Cover FX primer. The foundation I'm trying to finish is this Estee Lauder Double Wear Light, and this is in Intensity 3. I've had this since 2016, and honestly, I feel like when I squeeze out product, there's air coming through, so I'm really close. Weight-wise, it went from 24.4 to 23.11, so I actually used a little bit. I think I wore it 2 or 3 times this month, maybe. I have been cheating a little bit and wearing the Dior Backstage foundation a few times because it's a bit lighter weight, but yeah, I think it's just my perception, because with this one, yesterday I applied it with a damp sponge and in a small amount, and it was beautiful, light coverage, just uniforming the skin better than now, because it is a foundation also. It keeps me nice and matte as possible. I went to a day out with my brother, and then we also went walking on the beach, and I was actually quite shiny at some point, but that is inevitable in the summer. But this does a great job. I love this foundation very much, but I really want to finish it. There's nothing there. I really hope to finish it before the end of the summer, because otherwise this color is not gonna suit me anymore. After foundations, in order of application, I have my 2 concealers I'm trying to finish up. This is the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser in the shade Light, I think. It is light for me, but I love the texture and how lightweight it is, so I apply it especially when I don't wear a lot of makeup. I like that this is so light coverage, and it blends in nicely with my own skin, so I like to use this one, but because it's too light, I am mixing it in with the Nabla Close Up Concealer in Golden Beige, which is a little bit too, or like it's my skin tone. The problem is this one is very heavy, so I use them together. I do this on my under eyes, and then this a little bit on the outer part and around my nose, in the middle of my whole forehead. So I'm using them together. I use them every day. Progress is not very quick. The anti-age one you can see is around here. Can you see it? Yeah, it's around here. So actually I'm almost halfway through this one, and this one I don't know. This is infinite, by the way. And you need such a small amount. For the anti-age, I barely used 0.3 grams, and in the Nabla, I used almost a whole gram, and that is because I use it also around my face, and yeah. Progress, but not finished, of course. When it comes to powder, other than the powder foundation, I also still have in here my Neve Cosmetics Drama Matte powder, and this is a translucent pressed powder, mattifying powder, and I like this one. And when I wear foundation or a tinted moisturizer, instead of putting a powder foundation on, I will put this one. I didn't go very far. I only went from 56.11 to 55.83 grams, and I still I see that there's a dip in here, but I don't know, maybe I'll hit pan at some point, I don't know, we will see. This one I don't really use all over my face. I only use in the center of my face, because here I am actually normal to, I don't know, I have a little bit of rosacea on my cheeks, and I can easily get away with just not setting my my base, but in the center of my face I need it, so I use this one for that. Ooh, dropping stuff. Then we can move on to eye stuff. For eye primer, after the year-long struggle that I had with my Wet n Wild primer, I finally finished that recently, and I decided to go for a mini, for a little bit of a faster gratification type of situation, and I picked out my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, deluxe size. This is 2 milliliters of product, and I use it every day. Yet I went from 4.47 to 4.18 grams, so not much, but you can see that it's actually quite, I don't know, empty. I use a very small amount. I use it every day. I am not fed up with it yet, because I only started it, I don't know, beginning of June, so not that far away, and I might finish this by the year, I guess. I don't know. These take forever. These take forever. Mascaras, I have two. One is a primer. It's the Estee Lauder Little Black Primer. And at the beginning of this, I couldn't understand what it was doing because it's not volumizing. It doesn't accumulate on your eyes like these white primers, like the Maybelline one I had used before. But I think it really gives the mascara a very long-lasting effect. I find that when I apply this, my mascara is more difficult to remove, but also it doesn't crumble, but also it doesn't smudge as much. I think it does a good job. It's a different sort of primer. Instead of a volumizing primer or lengthening primer, this is more a performance-enhancing primer for mascara. It's quite nice, and yeah, it's black, so it looks a little bit like you tinted your lashes. If you just wear this, which I don't do because I need help. I'm not wearing this today because, I don't know, I'm not really wearing makeup or leaving the house today, or wearing makeup to leave the house today. So I don't mind if my mascara doesn't last as long. And I've been using it every day. But as usual with mascaras, you barely notice that you've used them. So here I went from 1404 to 13.77 grams. Started this at the beginning of July. So this is actually the first update with it. And then for mascara, that went a little bit further because I use more coats. I am using the Elizabeth Arden Grand Entrance Mascara. And I said how I didn't like this at the beginning, but it's very, very lengthening. So applied on a primer, it's not terrible. I have to say it's not the best lashes of my life, but I am enjoying it. And I started it at the beginning of June, so this is my third update with it. So I used it for 2 months. And I went from last month 21.46 to 20.65. So it's going down by around, I don't know, 6.6 to 0.8 grams a month if I'm looking historically. But yeah, I think I'm gonna continue at least 1 more month with it, then maybe 1 more, but after 3 months, since it's not my favorite, I could even just get rid of it. It doesn't even have a best before. I guess it was on the packaging. And the final 2 products for the Project Pan are my brow products. Wait for it. What didn't I finish this month yet? My Nabla Brow Pot. It's infinite, you guys. I honestly don't know. It's like, I'm hoping you can see a little bit how deep the hole is, but there is no sign of pan. There is no sign of finishing it at all. It's infinite. And here I only use 0.12 grams. So it went from 40.44 to 40.32. And I started this in October last year. I put it in my previous Project Pan and then rolled it over this year. And it's infinite. I think I might go another 1.5 years with this. There's so much product in here. I don't know. Total 6 mils. There's just so much product and you use so little that I'll be with this forever. It makes me wonder, when will I ever use all of my other brow products that I have in my collection if this lasts this long? Maybe I'll give it a break and move to a pencil that I can finish quickly. I don't know. Let me know below. What would you do? Because I'm kind of, I like the product, I use the product, but I'm wondering whether I should just run through a bit of my collection first and then come back to this. I don't know. For brow gel, I am using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Gel, and this is fantastic. It's like one of the best purchases of this year, I think. I struggle because I color my hair, which you might be seeing because I haven't in a while. Also, I don't know, do you use your glasses as a hair holder? I love to do that. But anyways, I color my hair a warmer red compared to my natural hair color, and my brows are just a dark brown. Neutral, maybe a little bit cool toned, but I like my brows to match my hair. So my brow color is a warm brown. This is Mars. And now I got the Dip Brow, which is in Auburn, and it tints the hair. It's actually quite nice. It's the first tinted brow gel that actually tints my hair in a visible way, maybe because it's more pigmented, it's more dark. Same time, you have to be careful because you're gonna like make stains into the parts that you don't want to color, so above and underneath or in between the hairs where it just looks weird. I often do it on the beginning of this brow for some reason. So you have to be a little bit careful with the application, but the effect is so nice. The hold is really, really good. And yeah, I just really, really like this. And using this every day, even when I wear minimum makeup, today, for example, I just did this and a hopeless other product that I tried and we'll talk about in my haul. But this also isn't progressing a lot. It went from 12.69 to 12.52. I started it in May and it was 13 grams. So I used just over half a gram in the last 3 months or 3 months. So yeah, it might go a long way, which I like because it's not the cheapest thing, but I am enjoying it so much that I don't mind. There we go. That was the end of my Project Pan update. How was your Project Pan this month? If you're sharing it, let me know. I always go through the hashtag TEAMPROJECTPAN, especially on Instagram, on YouTube a bit less. I follow Kat and Haley's Project Pans because I follow them in general. But yeah, I want to know how your Project Pan went and what I should do with this brow color. I don't know if I should switch it out at the next turn and just, I don't know, use some of my pencils. I have a ton of Benefit brow stuff that a friend gifted to me in the shade that she didn't wear. And I'm curious to try that stuff too, but there's a pomade in there, which I'm not up to starting. just keep it closed. It will be fine in its package until I am done with my other pomades. But there's pencils in there and I have still some NYX and ColourPop brow pencils. Lots of stuff to use, and not enough, I don't know, usage. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this update. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to keep up with me and hang out together. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys!